Well, hello, hello, hello. How are you today, everybody? How are you today? Okay, guys, so we are testing out this new software called StreamYard. StreamYard. It's very, very cool because it allows you to post into multiple different zones on social media. And you can actually, right now it's in beta, but I think they're actually setting it up so you can go Facebook, YouTube groups, and also LinkedIn. And I think there was something Pinterest even. So anyway, very cool. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Very, very, the one thing, guys, that you really got to consider about marketing in general is that you always want to try to be on the front zone of looking for cool things that can help everybody. Like, not just people in your particular company, but I'm talking about industry wide, people in any company, whether they're with a weight loss or skincare, nutraceuticals or energy drinks or credit repair, doesn't matter. But, if you take a front runner position and you're always looking for cool things that can help everybody, it really helps to, sort of position you as a leader, right, in our industry. And that's what our industry is truly, truly all about. So now when this goes live, right, when it's been going into these groups live, I noticed that there was a sentence at the top that says, click on this so that your comments can be seen, on here, right? Because it's actually pretty cool, because if you're participating here today and you put a comment, it's actually going to show right here on the screen, so that we can, I can help edify you, right? Just for showing up here. So if you click that button, guys, just so it's probably right up there. And if you do that, let me know where you're tuning in from. What part of the world are you tuning in from? And I'm happy to have you pop up here on the screen, boom, with your picture, so that we can help to showcase you. Okay, so as you're coming on, just maybe comment where you're tuning in from. You have to click that button, guys, just so you know. It has to do with connecting to the software somehow. So keep that in mind as we're doing the broadcast today. So what is today's topic about? Today, I want to chat with you guys about how to get more people requesting information about whatever it is that you're marketing. Okay, whatever vertical that you're in. We got a Facebook user from Texas. There we go. Now, this is interesting because I'm not really too sure. Some people's pictures are showing up and other people's pictures aren't showing up. So anyway, Texas, welcome to the broadcast. Okay, so what's the real secret, guys? What's the secret to getting more people to request incoming, right? Because this is truly the goal, right? Is to get incoming inquiries about whatever it is that you're marketing, okay? And if you come from the corporate world, right, which is typically a features and benefits driven type of a business model, and you try to transfer that over into social media, you're sort of at a little bit of a disadvantage to the people that really understand our industry, and they know the distinction between the two different models, the corporate America business model and the networking, home-based business model. They're two totally separate business models. And when I first got started in this industry, I had to be completely retrained, guys, okay? Because all I knew was the features and benefits business model. That's all I knew, right? And, making this mental shift between these two business models, you got to really have somebody to really explain it so that you can implement it for yourself, so that you don't sort of fall into the crack, so to speak, of what most people do, right? Most people do. Now, The thing that you really have to understand about our model is that the product, even though you may be selling, say, weight loss, or you may be selling skincare, okay, the true business model that we're in is actually a personal development model, right? It's not a sales pitch business model and booking appointments and dealing with objections and, you know, trying to hard close people. That's not our business model. And it's the biggest reason why people end up failing, because they don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to people at all when they come from corporate America. So they typically get involved with whatever company, right? Maybe they get excited about the products that their company's marketing, you know, weight loss, skincare, nutraceuticals, whatever. They get excited about the products and they go, oh my God, think about all the people that would want this product. So what they do is when they go onto social media, their Facebook profile looks like a commercial, literally, like post after post after post after post of the features and benefits and the products, the company, the products, right? And what happens is that you're actually doing yourself an injustice, because you're eliminating a massive amount of all the qualified buyers that you could have got, because you just threw up on everybody, basically, with your companies and your products, right? So the thing, live from New York, right? Wonder if that's Angeline. Is that Angeline? So here's the thing that happens. So imagine this, and you really have to put yourself into the market's perspective, right? The market's perspective, your prospect's perspective versus your perspective. Okay, so in your mind, you know, you found some cool thing that you think is the, you know, best products or the best comp plan or whatever, and you're all excited about it. Okay. And typically, a lot of times, especially when people come back from an event, right? If they've had their quarterly event, then you can typically tell, because it literally takes over. So it's like logo, all the way down their entire page. Okay. Now, so let's pick a couple of random company names. Okay. So let's say that you are with Pruvit. Okay. So that Pruvit's your company, and your prospect is with Melaleuca. Okay. So you're with Pruvit and your whole page is Pruvit. You know, pictures of the products, pictures of the before and afters, the logo. Okay. So now what's going to happen is your prospect that is currently with Melaleuca, he comes to your page and basically he sees the logos and all this stuff like blah, 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 like, you know, you threw up on him already. And he got into the Melaleuca company because he figured that that was his ticket to freedom. Like, he loves the Melaleuca products, and they're, you know, it's redirected spending, and he loves the ingredients, and it's non-toxic. And so in his mind, he's in the Melaleuca zone. That's his whole zone. He's a Melaleuca. And you're in your business, which is Pruvit. Okay. Now, what happens is you haven't had any opportunity to connect with the person at all, right? And they already think that they have their ticket to the promised land. So they're not interested in jumping ship, right? They're not looking at a new business because they're Melaleuca, okay? And you're Pruvit. So here's what ends up happening when you get into a conversation, okay? So he's over here and you're over here. So it's basically like this. Well, our comp plan is better than your comp plan, and our products are better than your products, and we got a longer track record than you got. We got more millionaire success stories than you got, you know. So you're into one of these, right? Which unfortunately is not going to make you any money. And what's going to end up happening if you get into these tug of wars, right, with your prospects, then you're trying to like outprove each other, and it never works, right? It never ever works. So it's a strategy that, you know, just is not effective. Okay, it does not work. Right? We got a Facebook user here said it doesn't work for sure, and I'm telling you, this is fact. Right? Facebook user says, I agree with you. And what do we got here? Whoop, whoop. Oh, that's Angeline live from New York. Great, great, great. Okay, so what's the real secret then? What's the real secret is that you've got to now sort of take this off. You got to take off these blinders, and you've got to basically realize that even though you're in a specific company and you sell specific products, that in our particular business model, the product is actually you. You are the product in our industry. Now, if you're coming from corporate America and you're out selling, you know, Samsung or whatever, and you're a sales rep for Samsung, different story. It's a totally different story, right? But when you bridge over into our particular business model, the product, even though you're in Melaleuca or you're in Pruvit, the product, guys, is leadership. Leadership is the product, right? So that means that you are the product. Okay, so now here's where the pull comes. Here's where this magnetic pull starts to happen in your business. Okay, in your business, this is what happens, right? Is that I look like a ghost on the screen. So here's what happens, guys. Okay. You got to take a bigger perspective of the entire industry. And you've got to say, okay, the first thing that I'm going to share with you is that there's only one you. There's only one you. There's nobody else that can be you. Nobody else can be you, right? So if you really don't have any competition, guys, this is the really cool thing about this type of formula, this type of strategy. See, in the event that you're, you know, the Pruvit guy, right? Or you're the Melaleuca guy, right? Or the Melaleuca gal, right? What happens is that you're in now direct competition with sometimes tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even millions of other affiliates, okay? And when you go and you start spending money on your advertising campaign, and the company's logo is all over your stuff, it's all over your funnels, it's all over your copy, it's all over your Facebook wall, it's all over YouTube, what happens is that you get branded as the company itself, okay? Now, I can tell you this, that I've actually had this happen to me personally. Okay, so I'm going to share this with you so that hopefully you don't do this, because I did it and I've done it multiple times. Okay, multiple times. And what ends up happening is that one day when you wake up, okay, and then all of a sudden, like in my particular situation, what happened for me was that the guy that was the CEO of the company, he was basically running everything. Like he was doing all the calls, the events, the leadership stuff, you know, putting out value to the marketplace. And one day, okay, I woke up and I got a phone call, right? My phone rang, and it was one of the, you know, senior level people in the company. And they said, Darren, I got some really bad news. And I said, what happened? And they said, Larry had a stroke last night and he's in critical condition in the hospital. And we don't know if he's going to make it. We don't know if he's going to make it. Okay. Now, what happened from that call, the point of the call, of me receiving that phone call, it was, just like the spiral. And about 2.5 weeks or 3 weeks later, he had multiple strokes. Okay. And he ended up dying. Okay. Now, and he was one of my top millionaire mentors that I, had a huge amount of respect for the success that he had in the industry and the value that he provided. I learned so much from that guy. His name was Larry Marcus. And, it was an emotional time because he was a mentor that I really, really looked up to for what the things that he taught me. And, but from that point on, now keep in mind, I had rolled out a campaign because I wanted to show people how they could start a company from zero and get to a $10,000 monthly residual income in a 30-day period of time. And, a lot of it was from some tips and strategies that he suggested, and I implemented them, and bam, right? It was incredible. So, but what happened was my check was up to right around $17,000 or $18,000 a month in monthly residual. And when he passed away, right, the entire thing just went, right? Boom. And, now there was nobody running the company, and the whole thing just fell apart. Okay. Now, I had done a lot of branding, right, with that particular name of the company. And the moment that he was gone, so was my check. And so was all the money that I spent on advertising. It went up in smoke, guys. Okay, up in smoke. Okay, all money that just went up in flames because, it was out of my control. I didn't have any control over it. No control whatsoever. Okay. Okay, who do we got here? Hey, what's up? What's up? Who do we got here? Dorinda, and she's got a picture on, guys. So we know that the picture part of the software definitely does work. Okay. So the big thing to really consider here, okay, the big thing to really consider when you look at your social media profile is, are you a commercial? Are you a commercial for whatever it is that you're marketing? Okay, so whatever company is that you're in, whether it's credit repair, weight loss, nutraceuticals, energy drinks, whatever, anti-aging, does your social media profile look like a commercial? Okay, because if it does, you're eliminating massive amounts of all the qualified buyers that you could be partnered with, but they already think that they have a ticket to the promised land with whatever it is that they're currently marketing. So you're putting yourself into a position where you're not the attractor factor anymore, because all those other people that are surfing around and swarming around you, they already think that they have their ticket to their promised land. That's why they joined that particular company in the first place, right? So the tip number one that I want to give you today is do a little bit of an evaluation of your actual profile and your content, and ask yourself, number one, do I look like a commercial? Okay, do I look like a commercial, right? Am I actually branding myself with the company? Like, oh, there's the, oh, he's the Amway guy. Oh yeah, she's the Jeunesse Global lady, right? So are you in a position where you are now the company, so to speak? Okay, but here's the disadvantage of it. You are now one of a million of the companies, and you're in a position where you lose your identity. You basically lose. You've given away your identity to the company, okay, completely. And now you're in massive competition with all of these other people, and it doesn't need to be like that, okay? Because there's only one you, okay? One you, that's it. There's nobody else like you, okay? And if you take this type of formula and now you start to say, okay, what can I do today to morph and mold and sculpt and morph and mold and sculpt myself so that I can be like a shining light, right, in the industry? And I'm not talking about just your company, guys. And this is where people have this misconception because they don't think big enough, right, on how can I be a shining light for the whole industry, right? What can I do today to hone my skills, to increase my self-worth, increase my confidence, increase my self-esteem, so that I can provide more value to the people? Because it's our industry. It's not about you guys, okay? It's about the people. It's about the people. What can you do for the people? What strategies can you teach to the people? So the corporate America model over here is a book an appointment. Most companies will start off with cold calls. So you cold call to an appointment, and the appointment to your pitch, and the pitch to the dealing with the objections and trying to get a close right here on the spot. That's corporate America, okay? The business model over here is not that way. Okay, it's not that way, unfortunately. It's way more casual. Okay, it typically takes multiple connections or exposures over a period of time to enroll somebody into your business or to sell them the products. Okay, so in corporate America, you book it, you pitch it, you go for the close, and boom, right? In our industry, it's way more casual. It's like the gradual rubbing suntan lotion on. It's very, very casual, okay? And the thing that's going to be the decision maker on whether or not somebody's going to actually join your business typically has to do with one thing, guys, okay? One thing. You know what the one thing is? Anybody? Anybody want to? Great Thursday to you. Yes, yes, yes. Anybody want to take a guess at what the one thing is? One thing, okay, that's going to be the situation of whether somebody's going to get in your business or they're not going to get in your business. Anybody want to take a stab at it? Anybody? Dorinda, any thoughts? Facebook user, 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 Facebook user. Any thoughts there? Okay, here it is. The one thing, okay, is going to be based upon timing. Timing. That's it. Timing. That is the thing that's going to put somebody over to the other side to either buy your products or become an affiliate of your products. Timing. Okay. Timing. Right? One thing. Timing. Okay. And you'll have way more pull to the people in the event that you can put out value to the people that's going to help them in some way to generate leads, close reps, upsell, get team duplication, step into leadership, change their mindset, all the things that really have to do with the things that most people out there won't teach. And they're necessary in order for you to go to the top and get to 7 figures and higher. You have to learn these skills, guys. There's certain skills that are required in every type of an industry, okay? Whether it's an electrician, plumber, welder, real estate, insurance, whatever. There's certain things, there's certain lingo that you got to learn in order to, get to the top, right? In our industry, it's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. But when most people join an MLM company, the only thing that they're taught is the top 200 list. So, and that particular formula, I mean, heck, some people hit it out of the park with that formula. You know, I've got, you know, one buddy of mine's made about $30 million in MLM just with the top 200 lists and doing three-way phone calls. Okay, right? You know, that particular strategy just did not work for me personally, but some people hit it out of the park with that strategy. But my point being is that the majority of people just don't have luck with that formula. And what they end up with is that nobody wants to return their phone calls or even answer their phone when we incoming call. Oh, send that one to voicemail, right? If it's you calling your friends or your family and harassing them with your business. So, you know, the thing that's going to give you the pull is curiosity. Curiosity is going to give you pull. Okay. Not, you know, putting your commercial all over your social media stuff. Okay. I've actually seen people that start a group, add a whole bunch of people to the group, and every single post that's going all the way down is exactly the same. Commercial, the exact same post, right? Over and over and over and over and over, all the way down. And what ends up happening, people just leave the group. There's no value there, right? So number one, don't be a commercial, right? Number two, realize that the real product in our industry is you, right? It's leadership. And number three, create curiosity in your content to get people to be reaching out to you, and focus on the results of the people, the success of the people, and the stories of the people, the breakthroughs of the people, right? So where they were to where they are, what was happening before to what's happening now, right? And that's what creates this, right? And it has to do with leadership. It has to do with leadership, guys, right? That's really the big difference. And if you implement this, I'm telling you, it will shock you. It will shock you, right? So when we roll out a campaign and people will say, well, what's the company? Send me some info. What's the company? The moment that you post these logos all over your wall, you just lost all your attractor factor now. There's none there. There's no magnetic pull anymore. It's gone. You lost it all, right? Oh, he's the Prove It guy. Oh yeah, that's the Melaleuca lady, right? Oh yeah, she's with Amway, right? So you don't want to be in a position where you're giving away your identity and being in a situation like what I was in, right? I just woke up one day and my paycheck went, right? And that is a problemo, right? If you're looking to obviously do the work and then get paid residual income from it. And when all of that advertising dollars, guys, goes up in smoke, when it happens once and then it happens again, I've had it happen to me on 3 different occasions, and then I was like, whoa, right? I'm going back to just me being the product here, because all of that money is gone. Like, it can never, ever be brought back. All that money that I spent on all of those campaigns, you know, promoting the name of that company, if I had invested all of that money into just my own brand, my own, you know, content, my own value, then it wouldn't have been lost. It wouldn't have been lost, right? So, guys, hopefully you got some value from this broadcast today. If you did, throw me a comment down there below. I love to connect with people from all around the world. If you tuned in yesterday, I made an announcement that I'm actually going to be rolling out a 30-day Millionaire Mentoring Intensive, where I show you the exact formula that I used, right? Just with my Facebook wall, right? No paid ads, on how I was able to generate $165,000 in a 30-day period of time with no paid ads. And the rollout is called the 10K Side Hustle Showdown. And what I'm going to be doing with a group of people is I'm going to not only explain the psychology behind it, but I'm going to be talking about how to turn yourself into a brand how to become the attractor factor, what type of content to put out into the marketplace that will start to go viral. And then how can you use both Facebook groups, okay? And I'm not talking about spamming into groups, guys. I'm talking about value-based content, how you can use groups to create a community of people, which is a massive viral lead generation source. And then how you can use the chat, right? Your Facebook chat, not only on one-on-one, but also in group format. And then how to actually roll out campaigns. How do you roll out a campaign? What's the psychology behind it? How does it work? What do you do? What are the actual action steps that you do? And what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to do the process, right? Where you're looking over my shoulder, okay? Where you're watching, and I'm going to explain the psychology of why am I going to post this particular type of content right now? Why right now? What is the reason that I'm going to post this content? And in the event that I do get incoming inquiries, right? What do I say to the people? What's the actual formula to take a prospect over here into a cash flow or an affiliate over here? Like, how do you get them from here to here? And then how do you get to upsell people? You could be with a company that has multiple entry points. So how do you get somebody from the bottom entry point to the top entry point? And I'm going to go over this in great detail. So you want to keep an eye on this. It's going to be coming out on my wall. They're just doing the shopping cart and everything for the opt-in for it. But what I'm also going to be doing is interviewing a number of my students that have had massive breakthroughs. Now, when I talk about massive breakthroughs, guys, I'm talking about like somebody living off their credit cards, right? Paying groceries on their credit cards, paying interest just to eat, and then going past $300,000 using this formula. Or somebody making 160 bucks a month in Mexico, right, at a call center, and in 2 years making over $200,000 US, right, using this formula. So some of the testimonials, quite frankly, are shocking, guys, shocking. Blue collar workers, one construction worker, he was having some challenges with the weather, right? He was having to work outside when it was like snowing and stuff. And he just reached his breaking point and he says, I'm done with this. And his very first month, he made $26,000. How's this possible? How's that possible? So keep an eye out for the 10K Side Hustle Showdown. Guys, I appreciate you. I appreciate all the interaction and support. I still got to figure out how I can actually see people that are coming on, because it doesn't indicate the names, and maybe I just have to look at it on another screen beside me or on my mobile device or something. I'll still have to figure that out. This is like day 3 of something of using the software, but it's called StreamYard. StreamYard, very, very cool. I'll post a link to it somewhere around this video so that you guys can check it out. They actually have a free version and then a mid version and a pro version. But just with the free version, you can actually start testing it out and see what you think, because I'm pretty blown away with it. I'm pretty, like, it's upped my number of people that are coming in. And I was not really using my my fan page much, because I was getting so many calls, guys, right? So many calls from people that were anywhere from $5,000 to $145,000 in the hole, right? In the hole, when they called me, with that one company called Digital Altitude, right? And what I did was I was trying to help the people by just making them aware of it, because some of the people that were calling me were literally on the verge of bankruptcy. And I felt bad for them. Like, they just got totally fleeced, right, by that company. So I spent about $4,000 out of my own pocket to help save the people, basically. And there was a number of people that were in that company that were, pretty pissed off at me for doing that. And so they all went to my page and reported it, right? Like, I don't know what some like I don't know what the word is, that I would use for this, but like hate mail or whatever, right? Or hate post. Or so what ended up happening was that my Facebook fan page got shut down, right? I couldn't advertise, right? And I was just trying to save the people. The company ended up getting shut down in the end from the Federal Trade Commission. And, you know, so I felt like I had done the right thing. But, you know, I took a hit for the team, basically. You know, I spent $4,000 out of my pocket, and I took a hit for the team on my Facebook fan page, right? Which kind of sucked. So I did get it back up and running, thankfully. But here's the cool thing. Using this software, now I'm, instead of me doing a Facebook Live and then sharing it over, I'm doing a Facebook Live all to 5 different locations at the same time, and it's re-engaging all of those people. So guys, hopefully you got some value from this. If you did, throw me a comment down there below. Share this out with your people so that they can get value from it too. And I appreciate your time. I know your time is valuable today. I went, you know, a little bit overboard. I went about 40 minutes or so. So I appreciate you sticking around. And guys, let's implement these strategies, and let's change some lives, and let's go get it. Have a good one. All the best.